Wait a minute. I'm like, wait, what? Okay. I guess I'm live. YouTube, am I live? Let's see. Go here. I am live. Okay. What the did YouTube change again, dude? I'm live, but like I didn't have to hit the live button twice. Yeah. Oh. Thanks. So that was weird. Anyways, hello everyone. I'm live. That was weird. YouTube lately, I've had to hit like live on OBS, then live on YouTube to go live. But right now I didn't. I just hit live once and I was live. I was like, wait a second. I want to make sure. But yeah, we got even more DC comic stuff announced that we're gonna be talking about today. I was gonna have a video on Bendis out today. I actually was working on one like till 6:30 in the morning. But then like I finished and like I watched and I was like, this video actually sucks. So I deleted it and then just went to bed. So I'll probably have a video on Bendis leaving Superman later this week, but we can talk about it on stream today. So yeah, sorry if I look like super tired because I didn't get to bed till 6:30 in the morning. It's an interesting taste. First I've had a grape drink in a long time, but I wanted one and that tastes weird. Yeah, he's leaving Superman. Hello, Jimmy. Alright, so, yeah, we got new creative teams announced because if you're not caught up with DC, what's up, FF2? What's going on is, December is the last month of like the normal books, and then starting January, going all the way through February, we're getting a Future State. What's up, Soundwave? How's it going, Owen? And Future State is just a new big event from DC, and it's just a thing that takes place like in the future, not a specific like time, but like it'll be like 2025, 2030, like 2070, just random times in the future. And these are all things that could happen. Yeah, Easton's gonna be writing like stuff for Superman, so I think I feel, dude, with how much you've been hyping him up. But these are things that could sort of happen, but not necessarily are going to. See, yeah, is Future State canon? That's what no one really knows, because DC's like, it kind of is, but isn't really, but could be, but we don't know. So Future State's kind of this weird limbo. But either way, it's sort of setting the way for afterwards. So again, it takes place in January and February in like the sort of future, and it's a thing that's not necessarily canon, but it's kind of paving the way. And then March, we go back to the present time, and we're getting all new creative teams, and we're also getting Infinite Frontier, which is a new event that DC's doing. So it's weird because they're kind of Star Warsing it in terms of the timeline. You know how Star Wars were like, we're starting out with episode 4. And it's like, okay, so we're starting out with after. That's interesting. That's what Future State's doing. It's like, okay, we're starting out with the future, and then in March we're gonna begin with the past. It's like, okay. But Philip Kennedy Johnson actually clears a few things up with Future State. So yeah. Yeah, Bendis is going to Justice League, sadly. He's leaving Superman, thank God, and he's going to Justice League. DC's like, you know, it's kind of people buy it. Like, the thing that, like, pisses me off the most about Future State is, like, we went over it, like, a couple weeks ago, and the creative teams just aren't good. Like, I mean, some are good, some of them could be good, who knows. But there's nothing really, that interesting. But here, let me move my camera, and we'll get into it, because there's, like, a billion articles to discuss here. I'll just keep myself top left. Okay. Hopefully that's a good position. So we got Frontier here. We got Nightwing, Superman. Yeah. You drinking Bang? No, I'm not drinking Bang Energy. I'm drinking Celsius. It's like the best energy drink I've found. And you should just put out simple casual comics, but choose these stupid events 24/7. Because, right, DC is suffering from too many cooks in the kitchen right now. And that's their biggest problem. Because with DC Rebirth, they're like, okay, Jeff Johns is paving the way. We got our creative direction. This is what we're doing. And then Scott Snyder's kind of like, but I'm a big dude. Like, you know, I did all that Batman stuff. People really like me. I want to do my own thing. They're like, okay, Scott Snyder, go ahead and do metal. And then Tom Taylor's like, but I mean, not Tom Taylor. Tom King's like, but I'm a big guy also, and people like my comics. I want to do. They're like, okay, go do Heroes in Crisis. And then Bendis gets brought on. Bendis like, I'm a big name and I want to do something. And they're like, okay, Bendis, go do Leviathan. And then all of a sudden you just have like these 4 different like huge names doing all their big universe spanning events, and it's like, what? You can't have all of them doing this. And it's like, and they all matter. And it's like, no, not really. Should have just stuck with Rebirth and Doomsday Clock. That was a smart thing to do. Like, that's the problem. Like, DC has there were too many people that are like, I want to do my big event. It's like, you should, if they would have just stuck with Rebirth and gone the way of Doomsday Clock, everything was so great. But instead, they let everyone go and just be like, this is what I'm going to do. Man, this is really an interesting taste. This is a weird grape taste. I'm never buying the grape version of Celsius again. I've liked every other flavor I've had, but grape ain't it, bro. Leviathan's terrible. So you want to know what's funny about Leviathan? Leviathan, for those that you don't know, was an event that Bendis did, his big comic book event in DC, setting up a new villain, except it's just an old character coming back as a villain. And he I think it was like a 7 issue like secondary event. Like he spun it out as like Action Comics. So he did like a one shot special in Action Comics, and he spun it out, and there's like a 7 issue like event, and then there was supposed to be a follow-up event. We never got that follow-up because Leviathan was so bad no one bought it, so that like follow-up got canned. It was funny because we had like previews and stuff, and like all this stuff was like, it's coming, and then the follow-up never happened because it was such a bad event. Thanks, Jazz Zachary. So yeah, that was funny. Bendis Snyder put a big wrench in John's plans. Yeah, it was dumb. It was like the first metal. I just read the newest issue of Death Metal, and man, this book's just so dumb. Like, I enjoyed the first metal. I didn't love it, but I liked it, and I was like, it's you know, it's quirkiness and stuff, and like some of the stuff's dumb, and like I get that's kind of the point a little bit, but I was like, it's interesting enough, and the art's good, and like I liked the first metal, and then Death Metal's announced. Like, okay, I'm interested to see where this goes. And Death Metal's just been terrible. Like, Death Metal's been so bad, dude. I thought Death Metal was gonna be good. It's just been really bad. Nothing makes sense, and it's so stupid. And if you haven't read the newest issue of Death Metal, spoilers for this issue. But in the end of it, Wonder Woman like melts her lasso in the the fire pits of Apocalypse, and then covers herself in her lasso, so now she can fight everyone with truth. That's what she's doing. Is Infinite Frontier is the future? What? Yeah, Infinite Frontier is going to be canon. So Infinite Frontier is DC's new event after Future State, and it's canon. So that we know of. So what I can tell from these interviews and what DC's been saying in Future State is not necessarily canon, but it's kind of like, here's sort of like a smorgasbord of what's going to kind of be happening in DC. So these things are things that are going to be, we're going to take elements from Future State and borrow them and use them in the actual monthly books, in the actual ongoing books for DC. That's what I could tell. Speedster changing cause for like 2 days, just so But yeah, I guess we can. So let's start out with Superman, actually. So Philip Kennedy Johnson's taking over for Bendis. If you don't know who Philip Kennedy Johnson is, he's the guy that is he's the guy that's writing The Last God, which is a book I've talked about a lot on stream before, and I even talked about in a video how it is my favorite book at DC right now, probably my favorite book in comics right now. Like, it is so good. Again, if you're into any type of fantasy, if you're into Lord of the Rings, if you're into Witcher, if you're into Game of Thrones, read Last God. It's amazing. He's writing it, and he's going to be taking over Superman and Action Comics for Bendis. Now that part I think is dumb. As much as I like Philip Kennedy Johnson, I think they should have given the book to 2 different writers, Action Comics and Superman, because I hope Philip Kennedy Johnson does good. I think he'll do good. But what if he doesn't? What if he doesn't do that good? Like, then you should have had an escape to the other book. You should have Philip Kennedy Johnson like Superman, like Marv Wolfman on Action Comics or something like that. I don't think it's smart to give both books to the same person. I think that's a dumb idea. Even with a good writer like Philip Kennedy Johnson, because I think it's better to have more people there instead of just giving the entire creative direction of the character, a character like Superman, to one guy. I think that's not a good idea, as we've seen with Bendis. For instance, with Batman, right now we have Peter J. Tomasi on Detective Comics, and we have James Tynion on Batman. So if like James Tynion's not your thing on Batman, you can go over to Detective Comics and get a solid Batman book from Pete Tomasi, and vice versa. But with Superman, if you don't like Bendis, well, guess what? You're screwed. You gotta read Bendis if you want Superman, or just don't read at all. And now it's like, if you don't like Philip Kennedy Johnson, well, you're screwed. You gotta read Philip Kennedy Johnson's Superman. It's like, it would have been nice to have like someone else. Yeah, I saw Chip Zdarsky's writing a new Batman book. I'm excited about that, except for the fact that it's like a variety book or whatever, so it's like gonna have multiple stories in it. It's gonna be inflated price. That part sucks. But lately, Chip Zdarsky cannot miss. Like, that dude's insane. Like, that dude's so good right now. Yeah. It's dumb. But anyways, this was an interview. This is the big interview that he did with Hollywood Reporter. I'm not gonna read the whole thing. I've already read it like multiple times, so we'll just go over the interesting part. He basically talks about how Christopher Reeve is his Superman. He wants to make him kind of like that, and he feels like Superman's a very selfless character. He says all the right things there. To wipe away Batman surrenders leave. I'm trying to remember the part. Yeah, so here he talks about Bendis. So they ask him, you're going to be taking over writing chores for the character at an interesting time. Yeah, interesting. Brian Michael Bendis places the Kent family at the heart of the galaxy, with his son creating the United Planets, even as Clark Kent came clean about his double life to humanity and came out Superman. Should readers expect you to pick up these plot threads and run with them, or are you wiping the slate clean and starting over with your own storylines and evolution for Superman mythos? And he says, I hope to build on Superman's mythology in a big way with new characters, settings, lore, etc., and no slates need to be wiped for any of that to happen. All of Brian's contributions will stand, and some of the plot threads he introduced will be further developed, most notably the importance of Lois and Clark's son, Jonathan Kent. The thing was, Jonathan Kent was more important to the book when Tomasi was writing it than Bendis. Bendis just made, he founded the United Planets and the Legion of Superheroes. Like, that was it. Anyways, he said, I love John, I love Pete Tomasi and Jorge Jimenez, just Super Sons. Can't wait for the new series. Love the dynamic of seeing Clark as a father and having a grown-up post-Legion of Superheroes John return to present day was obviously an important moment for the DCU. We now know that John is a big deal in the 31st century. And I don't think it's much of a spoiler to say that he'll be a big deal in our time one too. So now this may sound bad. This may sound like, oh no, he's not going to wipe anything that Bendis did. But you got to think, you don't go and get promoted to the biggest part of your job you've ever had while the other guy's still working at the company and then trash everything he did when he had your job. To everyone, Discord. Oh, thanks, Danny. I appreciate it. Yeah, I forgot to do that. But yeah, freaking, so it makes sense for him to be all nice here and be like, oh yeah, Bendis' stuff's gonna stay. And of course, he's not gonna come in day one, like before his book's even out, and be like, I'm going to end everything Bendis did, and it's scorched earth, and now I control Superman's fate. Of course, he's not gonna do that. But I do hope that he's being just really nice here, not actually meaning that, oh yeah, I don't know what Bendis did, we're gonna continue. I hope he doesn't mean that. Now, there's two big things that people want to know with the retcons for Brian Michael Bendis' run. One is he going to DH John? That's what everyone wants. What's your opinion on the Superman Brainiac comic? I love it. It's great. I've even talked about it in a video before. It's really freaking good, and the prologue is fantastic. Anyways, especially because it's Jeff Johns and Gary Frank, my two favorite, my favorite creative team. But anyways, so is he going to DH John? In my opinion, no, he's not going to DH John. I don't think anyone's ever going to DH John. The only way I think John gets DH'd is if we get a universe-wide reboot, like a New 52 or a Rebirth. short of that, we're never going to get. Jimmy's like messing around back there. My cat. But anyways, short of that, John's not getting DH. It sucks to say, but it's truth. Like, they're not just gonna have like, oh, John goes through a portal and he comes back and now he's 10 years old again. Why John's DH? They're not gonna do that. They've done too much with John at like 17 years old. They're not gonna DH him. I want them to. This is not me saying that. Hey, how's it going, Donovan? I'm not saying that like, oh, I'm glad that, no, I'm just saying this is what I believe. I think DC's not going to DH him. How's it going, Yellow Duck? This is just the truth of the matter. Like, these are the facts. They're not going to DH him unless there's some reboot. Again, if we get a New 52 or a Rebirth, they will DH John. I fully believe it because there's more money to be made if John's DH'd. You can see it by all the chatter of Super Sons. Like freaking if you go to, let's see, I got tagged in a post. Hold up. Yeah. Like if you go to like a post like this, so this post is talking about Bendis is done with Superman. The first thing is the evil is defeated. But like basically all of it is thank God Bendis is only good artist. Like all of it's talking about how bad he is. My prayers have finally been answered. But a lot of it is like he DH John. Yeah, look at this. The Super Sons return the day before Bendis ends. Let's celebrate. See, everyone wants John back. Everyone's happy that Bendis is gone. You already talked about Tom Taylor Nightwing? No, not yet. We're going to get into that. So I got this up here. But there's more money to be made with John being young because he's more interesting that way, and that's what people want. And so, of course, if they do a reboot, I believe that they'd reboot and be like, hey, John's 10 years old again. But if they don't reboot, we're never going to get DH John. That's just how it is. Listen, bro, you got to spice things up. You can't be basic on Twitter like everyone else. But yeah, but he's not getting DH. The other big thing that most people want to know about is Superman's secret identity going to be restored? I believe yes. Do I think Philip Kennedy Johnson's going to do it? I don't know. But I do believe that sometime down the line, whether Philip Kennedy Johnson or some other writer, someone's going to want to tell a interesting Clark Kent story, and you can't do that with Superman Clark Kent with his secret identity being out there. So they can put that cat back in the bag. They've done it before. Superman's secret identity has been revealed before, and they've undone it. Freaking Nightwing's secret identity has been revealed, and they've done like this is something that's been done a million times before, and they can easily just like put that cat back in the bag. So they could do that. So I fully believe that's going to happen again. I don't know if Philip Kennedy Johnson's going to do it, but some writer's going to do it, especially because how it stands right now for those that haven't read Superman went, he did a huge announcement. He announced to everyone, I am Clark Kent. But the thing is, he didn't stop being Clark Kent after telling everyone that. He still dresses up as Clark Kent and pretends to be a reporter and works at the Daily Planet. It makes no sense at all. Like, what? It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Like, Teen John is just boring Connor, basically. Except way worse. But yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Like, oh, here's this godlike character with all these insane powers, and now everyone's like watching him pretend to be human and be a reporter. And it's like, what? Like, that's just so weird. But that's how Bendis' mind works. He's like, this would be cool. So that's really dumb. And they could easily like retcon that somehow. Just have some event to where like, oh, now Superman's secret identity's back, and Clark decides it's the right thing to have a secret identity, and he can help more people. Or you could have some event where like Lois and John almost die because of Clark's secret identity being out there. Like, you can easily put that cat back in the bag. Like, that's an easy thing to do. But the John thing's something that I don't think is going to happen. So, as far as retcons go, I think they will retcon Superman's secret identity being out there to the world. Because there are so many more interesting story opportunities for you when Superman's secret identity is there compared to when it's not. Like, it takes away a whole plethora of stories you can tell. John being de-aged, I want it to happen. It's not going to happen unless we get a big reboot. That's just how it is. But he wanted to, the reason he aged up John was because he wanted to put him in the Legion of Supers, and he wanted him to feel important. I guess he didn't feel like John was important as a kid. Like, that's just, it's weird. And I think also he felt like John kind of weighed down Superman. This is my guess. Obviously, I can't read Bendis' mind. But from what I could tell, it looks like he did all this with John because he felt like John weighed down Superman and what Superman could do, you know, all the different things he wanted him to go do if he had a son. And he also felt like he could make John more important if he freaking aged him up and had him go join the Legion of Superheroes. It's really dumb. It's so dumb, but I think that's why Bendis did it. Wouldn't he just be Superman, stop being Clark? You'd think, but no, he still goes to the Daily Planet and dresses up and pretends to be Clark. It makes no sense. What's up, Symmetro? But anyways, let's move on to another part. Yeah, and then here he talks about how the book's going to be starting at first. He says, as we build up to the long-form story that's coming, my first few months writing Superman consisted of several short arcs, each one with a different world-class artist. Every artist has their own style, so I've tried to write to all their strengths, and while keeping the characterizations consistent, and they've all made it super easy for me. The results have been a series of short, self-contained stories that don't rely on each other, but that inform each other for the readers who read them all. Dynamism is the page super important to me. We got Scott Godlewski. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. I'm terrible with name. It looks like Godlewski. But this guy, he did some art for Superman Rebirth. His art's alright. I don't hate it, but I'm not the biggest fan of it. So it's whatever. He's one of the most dynamic artists I've ever worked with. But he talks about, where's the other writer? Phil Hester. Phil Hester's a guy who's Green Arrow. Another guy. Actually, Phil Hester and Scott Godlewski have very similar styles. They're both like art that I'm like, okay, I like it, but I don't love it. But there's a third artist that this guy, Daniel Sapper, if that's how you pronounce it. He's going to be also the new artist on Nightwing. I really like his art, and he's going to be on Superman. This guy is a really good artist. And I'm happy that, and it looks like he's going to be, on Superman for a good bit too, not just like I like his art. Like, he's a good artist, so I'm happy that he's on there. The other two, Phil Hester and Scott Godlewski, they're okay, but I really like Daniel Sapner, and so I'm happy that he's on Superman. But I hope they can nail down another premier artist for Superman Action Comics, because yeah, like, that's Phil Hester. So essentially an anthology series, kind of at the beginning. So basically they're just going to be doing like random stories at first, like short stories, and then they're going to start getting into like the 5, 6, 7 issue arcs. So that's what they're going to do. Man, this grape drink tastes super weird. But yeah, let's see. Where's the part where he talks about future state? I think I skipped it. Let's see. I think it's here. Yeah. Okay. So, taking on both Superman Action Comics after the Future State event, when you're writing the Worlds at War Mini and House of L one-shot, which is what he's writing for Worlds at War, both of which offer up significant world building in terms of potential future for the Man of Steel and his extended family, should those be considered signposts for where you're planning on going with the two series? Yes, actually, DC's Future State event offered a ton of flexibility with the establishment of a new DC multiverse and the nature of telling stories set in the future. There was inherent freedom to do literally anything we wanted, but I really wanted the stories in Worlds of War and House of L to count to inform everything that comes after. That doesn't mean everything that happens in Future State is a promise. That will definitely happen in a monthly title, but it does mean that we put real effort into tying the Future State Superman stories together and to foreshadow elements of the upcoming monthly books. But yeah, so that's the part that I found interesting. Grape flavored drinks. Yeah, I'm generally not a big like grape flavored guy, but like I saw it and I really like all these Celsius drinks. So I'm like, you know what? I'll try it. I'll give it a shot. And this is not good. Like, but I need energy, so I'm drinking it. I need some caffeine. It's just weird. Superman, Future State Superman looks like Planet Hulk with Superman. Well, Planet Hulk was just Superman Exile with Hulk, so Marvel already ripped off Superman, and now Superman's just ripping off Superman. That's what pisses me off. Superman did that way before Hulk, but everyone thinks it's Planet Hulk. Read Superman Exile, people. It's way better than Planet Hulk, and they did it first. So, anyways. So, what this says to me is just that, hey, Future State's kind of just a bunch of ideas we threw together that we're gonna borrow from in the monthly books. So, from what he says, he also talks about supporting cast here. People ask him about a supporting cast. They're like, what's going to go on with like Jimmy and Lois and everyone? And he's like, oh, they'll have their backup stories in like Action Comics, and also we're going to have a whole new supporting cast for Superman stuff. And so what it sounds like is Superman's going to space, just like he is in World of Wars, whatever it's called, freaking whatever it's called, Worlds of War. just like in that. So it's and Superman Exile. It sounds like when he picked up Black Label Luthor, the Man of Steel. Nice, dude. Let me know what you think of it. It's one of my favorite comics of all time. It is definitely my favorite villain-based book. It is so good. It's fantastic. And Lee Baramo's art is gorgeous. It's such a good book. I just reread that not too long ago for my my Lex Luthor video. Superman War of the Worlds. Yeah, basically, yeah, Worlds of War. I get confused because it's called War. The place called War World, but the event is called Worlds of War. So, whatever. Anyways, so it sounds like from what Philip Kennedy Johnson's saying, when he takes over Superman, Superman's going to be going to space, which I think is actually a very smart idea for Philip Kennedy Johnson, because you think of what he's taken over. He's taken over this like dumpster fire from Bendis, to where Bendis ruined Clark, like completely destroyed the character of Clark Kent, ruined his relationship with Lois, ruined Jonathan Kent completely, and ruined the Daily Planet. So what do? You send Superman to space and you give him a new supporting cast, and you let everything else kind of fix itself while he's gone. Why there are like 2-3 different comics to this title? Because comics, just like everything else, like movies and TV shows, there's not a whole lot of originality left. John Kent's probably going to get a new costume, actually. But anyways, yes, it sounds like Superman's getting sent to space. And again, I think that's a really smart idea, because when you have all this stuff, how's it going, Adrian? When you have all this stuff that Bendis ruined, you just get Superman away from that. You have him in space. You sort of, you wash the taste of Bendis' run out of everyone's mouth. You're like, hey, look at Superman on these space adventures doing this cool stuff. He's not freaking doing this dumbass stuff on Earth. You don't got to worry about any of that. You know what I'm saying? So you're good. You don't have to worry about any of that crap. And then he comes back like months later, like you have him in space for like a few months or however long. Or I mean, in months, by months I mean in real time, like in universe time, it could be like a year or whatever, who knows. And then you have him come back, and you kind of act like all that stuff with Bendis didn't happen. He's like, I'm back from space, I love my wife, I love my son, I'm back being Superman. And then you could do some like thing where you retcon a secret identity, and boom, you're good. So I think having him go to space, assuming that's what's going to happen, is actually a really smart idea from Philip Kennedy Johnson. I'm excited to see what happens, especially because you could have like John coming back from the 31st century, which he said, because currently John's in the 31st century of the Legion of Superheroes. Philip Kennedy Johnson said he's bringing him back to the present, so John will be back, and you could have John sort of taking care of things at home while Clark is out in space. And that could also be the 2 books, who knows? Like, Superman might be, here's Superman out in space doing space things, and Action Comics might be, here's Jonathan Kent and the rest of, like, the Superman, like, side characters doing their own thing and functioning without Superman. And that could be it. So, we could do that. But yeah. If you guys haven't read Superman Exile, you should read Superman Exile, because that's basically what's going to be happening, and that's what Planet Hulk ripped off. Because look, Superman in gladiator gear, fighting in a gladiator arena, in space, fighting an alien. He looks so sick too. I know it's kind of cheesy looking, but I love that. Like, I love that look. Like the cape, the like gladiator freaking whatever you call those shoes things. He looks so cool. And then we got freaking Emperor Mongol. It was a really good event. Like, it was a good storyline. Granted, there's a lot more to Superman Exile than just the Mongol storyline. That's just a part of it, but it's really good. Like, it's really good. If you're a Superman fan, you haven't read Exile, read it. It's really good. Any excited for more Mongol? Yeah, so Mongol's actually going to be like Mongol Sun, though. Which, I mean, we've seen Mongol Sun before. I don't know if it's a different Mongol Sun, though. Your Superman shirt is cool. Thank you. Yes, this is my Superman Christmas sweater, dude. I love this thing. It's so comfortable. I love it. Don't do. If he's not well, he ruined his. Wait, what? But I was so happy that we got Philip Kennedy Johnson and not Mark Waid, because Mark Waid was the rumor. Like, the big rumor was Mark Waid's gonna come in because they want a big name to get people back to Superman. How's it going, Brad? But thank God we did not get him. We got Philip Kennedy Johnson. Now, I'm not completely sold that Philip Kennedy Johnson's going to do a great job. I love The Last God. It's fantastic. Like I said, it's my favorite comic out right now. It's the best ongoing comic. You should read it if you're not. But just because you can write a great fantasy book doesn't mean you're going to be a good Superman writer. So who knows? But he's saying all the right things in his interview. We can see that he's a good writer. So I'm excited to see what he does. And I'm also, especially because, like I said, it seems like he's going to space. So with that, he can sort of do a journey type storyline. Because if you're reading The Last God is this like fantasy epic journey storyline. Like you have characters going from point A to point B, and like they're doing their thing on the way. He could do something similar to that with Superman, because Superman's going in space from point A to point B, and so it can help with his strengths in storytelling. So I'm excited to see where he goes. Oh, did he call me Brad? I didn't realize this was Brady. My bad, Brady. You're Brad now. Mark Waid's a guy who wrote good comics once upon a time, but his best years are behind him, and he needs to go into his, like, just go do something else. He's not going to write any good comics anymore. You know the dumbest thing about Mark Waid? When he did his Superman storyline, you know, his Superman origin, Birthright, he did this weird-ass thing where he made Superman a vegetarian out of nowhere. I'm sorry, but a guy that is, like, raised by farmers in Kansas is not going to turn out to be a vegetarian. I'm sorry. Like, that's what I thought was one that, when I was, it was so weird. It was like, Superman's a good person, so he wouldn't eat meat. It was like, wait, what? Like, that was just the weirdest thing ever in that book. Yeah, Kingdom Come was good, but I still think Kingdom Come's overrated. I haven't read JLA. But I like Kingdom Come, but I think it's overrated. Like, the whole Superman's going to murder everyone in this building unless this old man calms him down thing was kind of a little much for me, but the freaking, that part, it made no sense to me when he's just like, Superman's such a good guy that he wouldn't eat meat. That was like such a weird thing that Mark Waid did, where it's like, I've got the new take on Superman. He's gonna be a vegetarian. Also, Secret Origin is a billion times better than Birthright. Secret Origin's way better than Birthright. Mark Waid is very mid now. Yeah, like the last good thing he wrote was Daredevil. And with all the good Daredevil run, I'm starting to think that Daredevil is just a character that that most people can write good. I'm gonna be honest. Daredevil's kind of like the Batman of Marvel, not in terms of the character he is, but in terms of like he tends to like bring the best out in writers. Like, look at it. Chip Zdarsky has an amazing run on Daredevil right now. We just had, what's his name? Damn it. What is his name? Why can't I think of his name? I can picture his face. The guy that writes the Star Wars comics, writes Darth Vader. Well, used to. He doesn't anymore. Hold up. American Alien is much better. I love American Alien. Man, watching those Max Landis videos on the sequels is, interesting to say the least. There's too many Darth Vader series. Is this the one? What the hell's his name? Charles Soule. Charles Soule had, yes, there, Soundwave got it right. The stream delay finally caught up. Yes, Charles Soule. So Chip Zdarsky's having an amazing run on Daredevil right now. Charles Soule had a good solid run on Daredevil. Mark Waid had a good run on Daredevil. Freaking Bendis had a great run on Daredevil. Frank Miller wrote the best Daredevil run of all time. Again, I'm thinking that Daredevil is like Batman in terms of he brings the best out in writers. Like, it seems like if you have like an okay writer and you put them on Daredevil, they're just gonna like skyrocket and do good. Like, Daredevil just seems like a guy that people can screw up. They're having bad Daredevil runs. But Daredevil's just one of those guys that's like easier to write, you know? Like, Superman's the opposite of that. Superman's the guy that like is hard to write and will just freaking destroy writers. Like, that's how I feel. Like, Superman's like the guy that's just like really hard to write, to where Daredevil seems like a lot easier to write. But yeah, and Ed Brubaker had a solid run as well. Any good Christmas Superman books to read? There are a bunch of like random single issues. My favorite holiday book I've tweeted about before, my favorite Christmas book is, let's see if I don't remember the issue. I have it in a long box, but I don't want to dig for it. There's one where freaking Jonah Hex is just like pointing a gun at Santa, and he's like, yes, I have this issue. I love it. It's just such a good cover. You go spread some holiday cheer amongst the kiddies, or there'll be another dead Santa around here. It's just such a good cover. It's Christmas in Outlaw Town for Jonah Hex. We need Jonah Hex back, boys. But yeah, I guess we can talk about Nightwing now. We talked about Superman, basically. There's not much else to talk about with Philip K. John's take over Superman, other than I'm excited and I'm excited about Superman again, which has been a long time since I've been excited about Superman. So that's good. But this is the artist that's gonna be taking over for Nightwing. He's gonna be writing someone not writing. He's gonna be drawing for Action Comics as well. And I really like his art, so I'm excited to see this guy on Nightwing. But anyways, where's the... So we have the Nightwing thing here. I actually haven't read this article. I've just read Tom Taylor's tweets. So Tom Taylor's a guy that, for some reason, at DC, he does great. At Marvel, he sucked really bad. Like, his X-Men stuff was awful. He was not good at Marvel. But at DC, he's done great. Like, Deceased, freaking... Deceased, he's done fantastic on. Like, I really enjoy, like, the Deceased universe is better than the main canon DC universe right now, which is nuts. And the thing was, I also wasn't a fan of his stuff on Injustice, though. Like, a lot of people loved what he did with Injustice. I didn't like it, but his Deceased stuff's been great. And I personally wanted him to write Green Arrow, because Green Arrow doesn't have a book right now, and I wanted them to bring back Green Arrow and have him write it, because I think his voice for Green Arrow was really good. Like, even in Injustice, when I don't like Injustice, I liked his Green Arrow, and in Deceased, I like his Green Arrow. I think he has a good voice for Ollie, so I wanted him to write Green Arrow. But he got Nightwing, so I'm like, okay, I'm down to see what he does. Oof, grape. Yeah, Injustice is nothing but shock. Injustice was literally just, hey, how many different people can we have beat up Dictator Superman? Wouldn't that be cool? Let's have Alfred do it. Let's have Black Canary do it. Let's have everyone do it. Wonder Woman do it. Let's just have every character in DC Universe take turns beating up Superman. But yeah, so he's writing this. So he said, yes, we're on the ongoing Nightwing series starting with issue 78. Not just an arc. I'm planning on writing Nightwing for a long time. Yeah, we'll see how long that lasts with how DC's going. So great to join Ben Abernathy and so many of my friends in the back group. We've all been scheming. Some Bruno. This looks good. I like this. This art's good. I'm excited. Now he gets bit by a dog and he doesn't even react, dude. Tough guy. But now, some people might be saying, wait, this guy's writing Nightwing, the guy that killed Dick in like 2 of the dumbest ways ever in both Injustice and Deceased. Yeah, that's kind of bad, but I think he'll do much better here. Yeah, Molly and Dean are returning in Justice League, but are being written by Bendis. Sadly, Bendis is taking over Justice League, but man, I think Justice League is the last big shot DC's giving Bendis. But they gave him Superman Action Comics. No one liked him on there. He failed. They gave him Leviathan, his own event. No one liked it on that. It failed. It even got the sequel canceled. So now they're like, hey, Bendis, we'll give you Justice League. Don't screw this up like you screwed literally everything else you've done besides, like, Naomi. Like, Naomi's been a success, but that's kind of it. How's Daredevil so far? Daredevil is freaking amazing. Chip Zdarsky can't miss, dude. I miss Green Arrow being an ongoing as well. I miss Benjamin Percy's Green Arrow. It was good. Like, Rebirth was good for the most part. I just got a little annoyed with how his sister became more like the main character. We got like less Oliver. That was the only thing that I didn't like about that. But man, I would love to see Tom Taylor write a Green Arrow book. I think he'd be a perfect fit. He really seems to like the character. But anyways, on to this article. I haven't read any of this article, so I don't know like what's the interesting parts. Like I said, I just saw this when I was pulling up stuff for the stream today. Resume March 21. Let's see. I've always been a huge Nightwing fan, despite awkwardly killing him twice in Deceased and Injustice. Yep. The way he killed him in Injustice was the worst. Literally, he like fell on a rock and died. It was like, man. Because he was put in a tough position because he had to kill Nightwing because of the game. Like, Tom Taylor, I believe, didn't write the game. I think it was the studio, NetherRealm, wrote it with like some like other DC writers helped consult for it. So he had to kill Nightwing because in the game, it's a big thing that Damian's there and Nightwing died. But he chose the dumbest way to have him die. Like, I don't like, dude, why'd you have to do that? Yeah, the cover looks really good. Anyways, having been a professional juggler, former fire eater, and having spent years doing circus training, I think I have a pretty unique perspective on Dick Grayson. I've always considered Nightwing an A-list DC hero, which he is. This series is about showing that it's about putting Dick Grayson back on the pedestal where he belongs. While there's definitely an evolution here, it's an evolution built on embracing the past. It's about taking everything Bruno Redondo, Adrian Lucas, Wes Abbott, Jessica Chan, and I love about Nightwing and testing him in a completely new way. It's about seeing how Dick reacts when faced with impossible odds and with the life-changing opportunity that comes his way in our very first issue. Also, it's about giving him a puppy. You know, it worked out for Hawkeye. I'm all about giving Dick Grayson a dog. Neck snapped by a pebble. I know, it's so dumb. There's also in Titans Academy. Who would be the perfect writer for Superman and Nightwing for you? Well, I mean, if you had to choose the same writer, Tomasi did great on both Superman and Nightwing. But my perfect writer for Superman is Jeff Johns. I think he does amazing work. And then for Nightwing, I mean, I loved it. Like, Chuck Dixon had an amazing run on him. Tomasi had a good run on him as well. Kyle Higgins, actually. Kyle Higgins did great with what he had with the New 52, and I loved, and he did a great, he did Nightwing New Order, which was fantastic, and I'd love to see him come back. Like, the thing that I love about Kyle Higgins is, one, he's a competent writer, he's really good, and two, he genuinely loves Nightwing. Like, Kyle Higgins legitimately loves the character of Dick Grayson. Like, you don't always get that, even in comics. Like, the guy legitimately, like, here, let's see. When it was announced, he even, like, quote tweeted me. He's like, not me. I mean, he quote tweeted Tom Taylor. I don't know why I said that. Yeah, he said, "I'm so excited for this Paint It Blue bait." Like, the dude has nothing to do with like DC Comics currently, and he's talking about how excited he is to read Nightwing. Like, Kyle Higgins legitimately loves the character. I've talked to him like every year that I've gone to Emerald City Comic Con. He's been there, and I've talked to him about Nightwing. Like, he has a legitimate passion for Nightwing. He wrote a Winter Soldier miniseries, and at a panel, like, when talking about it, he's like, I love this book, it's great. And he's like, and if you want a good Dick Grayson series, what this was going on during the Rick Grayson stuff, he's like, read my Winter Soldier book. He's like, it's legitimately just a Dick Grayson book. And it's like, the guy loves Nightwing, and it sucks that his New 52 run got cut short, and he basically had to just follow whatever Snyder was doing in the Bat book. So, yeah. But that's who would be my perfect Nightwing writer right now. It's Kyle Higgins. Anyways, my girl in question, Barbara's going to go through changes of her own in the Aftermath Joker War, and the series feature her. Oh yeah, we got a Joker book announced, by the way. Joker is getting his own solo series, so that I don't remember if it's a mini series, but either way, it's dumb. Anyways, I've always loved the relationships with Taylor. There aren't many characters who know each other so well. They've been through so much together, respect each other, and have always been there to support one another. They're not Batman and Robin. They're no sidekick. They're equals in every way, and Babs will be a big part of our story as Batgirl and as Oracle. Bruno and I have told some huge stories with giant casts between Justice, Star Wars, and Suicide Squad, and we're very excited to focus on a smaller cast and imbue this book with as much heart and hope as we can. Now, I was people that is not Team Dick and Babs. I'm Dick and Corey. I much prefer that, honestly. I don't know, I just think they work better together. I don't really care for Dick and Babs that much, but I'm excited to see what he does with Barbara. Nightwing New Order was fantastic. Yeah, like, you have so many other Batgirls that are more interesting than Barbara that I wish they would have just made her Oracle. She's better when she's Oracle. Like, it's just how it is. Kyle Higgins loves Nightwing as much as the new Green Lantern writer hates Hal. Facts. Dude, yeah. Emerald City Comic Con's a great convention. Hopefully, like, we actually get cons back sometime soon. Because, man, it sucked not being able to go this year. We're still in 2020. Cassandra Cain is extremely overrated. Come here, Jane. Joker on goes is being written by James Dine with a punchline story every issue. Yeah, I saw that. I freaking hate Punchline because she didn't kill Harley. That pissed me off. I was like, yeah, she kicked Harley's ass the first time, then she lost her a second. I'm like, I hate you, Punchline. Kill her. Thoughts of Birds of Prey? I have not seen it. That's a fat cat. How dare you fat shame my cat? So rude. He's thick, dude. It's 2020. No one's fat. You're just thick. He built different, okay? Kind of across the country, yeah. Kind of like tucked in the corner. But anyways. Let's see. In a more approach to the series, title seeing some big comics. We have a big story planned for Nightwing. It's all centered in Bloodhaven. Thank God. Keep him in Bloodhaven. Stop sending him to Gotham every freaking issue. This is about Nightwing's home, not Batman's. Yes! This is about Dick's crusade and the people beside him as he pushes against the impossible. It's about him fighting for the soul of the city, while his past will come back to haunt him with the name Zuko. This is definitely a story for the future. Some life-changing and character-defining events are coming for Dick Grayson. Terror continued. All that said, everyone in the Gotham group are keeping in close contact with other face-to-face meetings, and we have big plans for 2021 and beyond. It was great to see some of my favorite people in comics. Blah, 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 blah. All right, so I'm happy that it's going to be Bloodhaven focused. I can't wait. What's up, Johnson? He's 3 months away. I know, because they have stupid future state. Oh, this is where Harley Quinn dies. Yeah, sadly, Harley Quinn's not going to die because she's on the cover of... She's right there with all the heroes. Because she's a hero now, too. I like how Wonder Woman's just out here like freaking Mufasa. Like, everyone's like, all the heroes are chilling. And then you got freaking Wonder Woman Mufasa out here, just in the clouds. This cover's honestly kind of funny looking. It is kind of funny looking. Oh, man. Harley will never be a hero. Well, DC begged to differ. But yeah, so that's basically all for Nightwing. I guess we can talk about Infinite Frontier. Jonah Hex, give him his own book back, please. I was severely disappointed with what they did with Jonah Hex in Metal. I don't even know why they brought him into Metal, into Death Metal. Alright, so let's talk about Infinite Frontier, which is being headed up by Joshua Williamson. Joshua Williamson is a great writer. I really like Joshua Williamson. That Twitch, yeah, exactly. It's a dumb thing. The fact that Harley got redeemed so fast. The fact that people are still like, Jason Todd's kind of a bad guy. I don't know if I trust him. He kills bad people. He kills murderers and rapists. I don't know if I trust that guy. But Harley, who, you know, like, tortured people, killed people, helped Joker out, she's good to go. She's redeemed. But Jason Todd, still to this day, people are like, I don't know if we can trust that guy. I think he should be in jail. But Harley Quinn's like, she's good. She's good. It's like, what? How are you still like, I don't know about Jason Todd, but Harley Quinn's like, what? Yeah, I met Joshua Williamson at Emerald City Comic Con. He's a really cool guy. I really liked Joshua Williamson. But he's also a fantastic writer. And as far as Future State goes, he has the best resume of anyone on Future State. It goes him, Philip Kennedy Johnson, freaking everyone else. Because he's written a lot of solid stuff. Yeah, he's... legit, Harley's been like every issue Titans run, and she's been a big part of it, which sucks. Like, I've enjoyed Titans run for the most part. It hasn't been anything amazing, but it's been solid. But I hate the way he's using Harley Quinn. Like, please stop. The only time I've enjoyed Harley since like the animated series essentially was in White Knight. That's it. And that's because, like, basically animated series Harley comes in and kicks the crap out of New 52 Harley is essentially what happens in that book. But anyways, Joshua Williamson's going to be heading up Infinite Frontier, and I really like Joshua Williamson. So we'll see how this goes. I mean, Brandon Easton is easily top 3. Yeah, just ask Soundwave, dude. Harley's just forced 100%. She sells freaking merch like nobody's business, and slutty girls like to cosplay her. So there you go. Remember when Suicide Squad came out and you had like girls that didn't even know what DC Comics was, just dressing up as Harley Quinn because like, yeah, I saw the trailer. And it's like, well, she sells. That's how it is. But Harley used to be a good character. Now she's not. Oh, dang it. We reached the... It goes that song every time. Anyways. So, let's read this. DC Universe enters its next phase this March with the release of Infinite Frontier number 0, a 64-page one-shot for the most creative and innovative storytellers in comics that sets the tale for new tales, talents, and characters for 2021 and beyond. As Dark Knight's death metal exposes our heroes to the multiverse's dark threats in DC, Future State provides a glimpse into possible futures of the DC Universe. This blockbuster one-shot propels our heroes into the current day and a world full of endless possibilities. For Tara Strong started voicing her. True. Tara Strong was the downfall. Yeah, like I liked her in Arkham Asylum. In Arkham City, I didn't really like her, but also in Arkham City, she was kind of meant to be annoying, so she filled the role fine in Arkham City. I liked her in Asylum though, but that was before Tara Strong voiced her. Infinite Frontier #0 really feels like beginning of a new era of DC Comics at a time when anything is possible, said writer Joshua Williamson. We're taking the aftermath of Dark Knight's death metal and combining it with the best things we love as storytellers about the DC universe, resulting in bold, fun, and exciting new directions. There are a lot of teases to new storylines, surprises, and mysteries for the year setup in Infinite Frontier #0 that you want to miss. I am so trained to say Infinite Crisis and not Infinite Frontier that every time I see Infinite in the comic book setting, my mind just goes Infinite Crisis, Infinite Crisis, Infinite Crisis. Yes, Red X is in the comics now. He right there. So we'll see how that goes. Then we got like the freaking weirdest looking Flash. That costume sucks. Please give this Flash a new costume. I have no clue if this character's good or not. I think it's a she, give her a new costume. Please. This costume's awful. It's ketchup and mustard. Like, it is bad. Do something different with the hair and give her a new costume, please. Like, what if this character's really cool? They just have the worst costume of all time. Like, that is awful. They have no issue with Harley being... It's like... Thought that was Firestorm. I know, it's a Flash. It's the Future State Flash. It's like, again, I have no clue how this character is. Could be good, could be bad. But whatever it is, change their costume. It's awful. Like, that costume's terrible. Whoever designed that. So let's see. Featuring a dynamic primary cover by Dan Jurgens and Michael Janin, and an equally breathtaking cardstock variant. Blah, blah, blah. I don't care about that. Look at all this. It's a lot of names. David Marquez is a great artist, by the way. Jeff Johns, yay! But he's writing a Stargirl thing, so it's like, I read this article before, and like Jeff Johns, like, yeah, but he's writing like a Stargirl thing, and it's like, I don't really care about Stargirl. Come on, man. Alex Maleev's a great artist. Jorge Jimenez is a great artist. Ooh. No, I got to do with Carcans. Carcans had a Suicide Squad? What? That's great. Thoughts on Damian Wayne? I think Tomasi and Grant Morrison are the only two people that know how to properly write Damian. Everyone else can go screw off. But I think when Tomasi and Grant Morrison write, well, I mean, you gotta include freaking what's his name in there? God dang it, can't remember his name. One of the under teams is also called Jonah Hex and Booster Gold. True. That was great in New 52 when they teamed them up. Anyways, an unthinkable, unexpected attack by the Joker makes him the target of a worldwide dragnet with ex-cop Jim Gordon in hot pursuit in the ongoing series of Joker. I mean, this could be interesting, maybe, with, like, if you, like someone pointed out earlier, if this is, like, a Jim Gordon series in disguise. If it's really just all about Joker, I couldn't care less. Spinning out of her breakout appearance at Future State Wonder Woman, Future State Superman Wonder Woman, young Yara Flor begins a search for destiny and connect with Amazon. So, Yara, that's the Brazilian Wonder Woman, I think. Yes. So this is actually, as far as all the new characters being introduced in Future State, this is the one I'm most interested in, because I think her design looks cool, and she sounds kind of like an interesting character. So as far as all the new characters for Future State, the new Wonder Woman is the one I'm most interested in. Like, I think she could be cool. So I hope they do a good job with her. Like, I think her suit looks cool. I like her design. Like, I think she's a cool looking character. So I'm hoping, unlike the Flash, that looks awful. Like, you want to talk about the two ends of the spectrum in terms of, like, how cool a new character looks like. Dope. Awful ketchup and mustard. Yeah, the Dolphins beat the Patriots. Tua didn't have the greatest stats. It's Orange Day today at Titan Tower as Tim Sheridan. This is the guy that wrote like a couple episodes of Young Justice, and I don't think has ever written a comic, so I'm not excited. Like, why not just get some established people? Anyways, introduce a group of teen heroes, including the future Red X, to the original New Teen Titans, setting the table for duos. So this sounds kind of interesting, but again, creative team does not have me excited at all. The Adventures of Justice League continue, beginning with Justice League number 59, now written by Michael Bendis. David Marquez, good artist, with new Justice League members including Black Adam, Hippolyta, and Naomi. I don't really like Hippolyta being on there. Like, why not just have Wonder Woman? Why Hippolyta? Whatever. And Naomi is a Bendis creation, so of course he threw her in there. Like, of course, Bendis takes over Superman, and he's like freaking Dave Filoni. He's like, time to throw in my creations into everything. That's what he does. She's so popular yet, despite not even appearing yet, because she's freaking cool looking. Doing it right for the Giants to this day. I know we're going against the Browns. The Browns have actually looked good lately, and the Giants freaking suck. But we got the GOAT, Colt McCoy, leading the way. So don't count out Colt McCoy, dude. But did Tim Sheridan write the good episodes of Young Justice? I don't know. Young Justice low-key whack. First 2 seasons were good. Season 3 is kind of whack, TBH. No, I did not play Fortnite. Wonder Woman Adventures into the God Sphere, creating an exciting new storyline by Becky Cloonan, Michael Conrad, and Travis Moore. Continuing March. Becky Cloonan, I've read a little bit of her Punisher run. It was all right. Other than that, I have like no opinion on her, so who knows. Award-winning writer Jeff Johns and Todd Knock telling all new Stargirl story. It's just like, why does it gotta be Stargirl? It's like, it's either like, oh, cool character with meh creative team, or it's, oh, great creative team with meh character. But anyways, for fans wanting a gateway into the next great era of storytelling, yeah, sure. This 64-page oversized one-shot is a guaranteed must-have for March pull list, priced at $5.99 for the main cover version and $6.99 for the cardstock variant. This book will be available at all comic book stores and participating digital retailers on Tuesday, March 2nd. What do you think about the new Batman? Yeah, the new Batman is Lucius Fox's other son that hasn't like appeared since like the 80s or 90s. So I don't know. My problem is, again, with the creative team. Like, the guy they're getting to write it. Yeah, I know it's a personal character because of his sister and all that. So, like, I'm happy for Jeff Johns. It's just, I wish you would have written something else, you know? But, yeah. Anyways, what was I talking about? Yeah, the new Batman. We can talk about that. What's it called? We'll just do new Batman. I don't remember the exact name of it. No. Damn it. Here it is. Okay. I'll go to New York Times. New York Times will be like, subscriber, you can't read this article. Yeah! Thanks for reading time. Create your free crime. Screw you, New York Times. I'll go to the Guardian instead. And then if I want a bunch of pop-ups, I'll go to CBR. Your privacy. New Batman will be black, DC Comics announces. That's a great headline for the article. Just blunt. These, like, all of them are just trying to get so many clicks. Under the mask, the next Batman will be black. It's like, yeah, I think the picture kind of tells us that. Good headline. Character named Tim Fox will take up the cowl, and it's written by 12 years of slave screenwriter John Ridley. That's the thing, like, yeah, you wrote a good movie, does not mean you're gonna write a good comic. Like, that's the thing, like, if they put someone on here that, like, I knew, I would 100% pick this up, because I think it sounds kind of interesting. Yeah, straight to the point. Yeah, exactly. Like, really, really straight to the point. Article on the Wayback Machine. You know, there's a CBR headline out there. It's insanely funny. Wow, that's good. But, will be black named Tim Fox. But, like, that's the thing, like, yeah, who's John Ridley? Exactly! Like, you're having this big thing, like, there's a new black Batman. You think you'd want to get, like, a solid guy on there. Like, someone that, like, comic fans would be like, yeah! But instead they get freaking John Ridley. Like, again, who knows? Maybe this guy will do good. I hope he does. By the way, like, quick thing. Like, when I made, like, when I made this video talking about new creative teams and stuff, every time, like, I talk about a new creative team, and I'm like, I don't think these people are going to do good, that doesn't mean I want them to fail. I want freaking Jeff Thorne to be the best Green Lantern writer of all time. I want him to do good. Bendis on Justice League, I want him to do great. I want Marika Tamaki to do great on Detective Comics. I'm just telling you guys that I don't think they're going to do good. I'm never, like, praying for these people's downfall or wanting them to fail. Like, when I say that I don't think this guy's going to be, like, anything special, I don't want him to fail. I want him to do good. It's just the real, like, the fact of the matter is they're probably not going to do that great. Comics aren't an easy thing to write. So, yeah, I hope he does good. I hope this new Batman's kick ass. But I don't think this guy's going to do very good, honestly. But we'll see how it goes. Who knows? His costume's cool. Like, he's honestly probably the coolest part of this cover. Like, I think this sort of armored, masked Batman looks kind of cool. Like, I think he's the coolest looking part of this cover, to be honest. Like, if we're talking about all the costumes, besides freaking Mufasa Wonder Woman. Oh, there's an author on that list, I hope. Is his last name Easton? But yeah, like, I have, like, all these people, I think this Batman looks the coolest. But anyways, yeah, we'll see how this guy does. I think the new Batman, strange son of Bruce Wayne's business manager, Lucius Fox, was announced by the comics publisher on Thursday. The new series will be written by John Ridley, the screenwriter of 12 Years a Slave, with art by Nick Darrington. Nick Darrington's a good, solid artist. And Laura Braga, I don't know who that is set in a future Gotham City controlled by the villainous magistrate. That's the thing also, though. Like, the freaking, the premise for this storyline is one of those, oh, never seen that before. Someone takes over Gotham, and Batman has to go and, like, go under the city and try to fight back, and he can't just be out in the open because someone's taking over Gotham. It's like, oh, we didn't just see Joker do that. We didn't just see Bane do that. Like, it's like, oh, very original. Can Aquaman find a shirt already? No, because Jason Momoa is playing Aquaman, so they had to make him look more like Jason Momoa. That's how it be. I love Jason Momoa as Aquaman, by the way. Ridley had previously revealed that the next Batman would be a person of color. To the New York Times, that was the first time his two sons had been genuinely excited about his work. Well, yeah, I imagine young kids aren't exactly, like, biting at the, like, chomping at the bit to watch 12 Years a Slave. Like, if you're, like, 10 years old, and you're like, Dad's like, I just wrote a new movie. You're like, what is it, 12 Years a Slave? It's like, I don't know if I want to watch that, Dad. So yeah, I imagine they'd be a lot more excited about Batman than 12 Years a Slave. They appreciate the things that I do. They're happy for me. They're great supporters, but they would much rather see Black Panther than 12 Years a Slave. Let's be honest. True. He said in November, so we'll be able to write the next Batman for them to know that this Batman is going to be black. Everybody else on the planet can hate it, have a problem with it, degenerate, but I have my audience, and they already love it. Does he really have an audience that, like, he's bringing over from 12 Years a Slave that's going to read his, like, Batman books? I don't know about that one, Chief. I don't know if there's a lot of, like, people that will be like, oh, yeah, John Ridley, my favorite comic book writer, is coming over to write Batman. I will read that because I liked his movie. I don't know if there's a whole lot of correlation there. And the most recent Batman storyline is yeah, I know about that. About 2-month event, yeah. I prefer to be right with But I hope this Batman's good. As far as his, like, everyone's hated it because I'm making the next Batman black. I don't have a problem with it because they're not making Bruce Wayne black. They're bringing back, like, a character from, like, the freaking 90s and they're making him Batman. I don't have a problem with that. And Bruce Wayne's still around. This, to me, is how you do it. If you want to do a black Batman, this is how you do it. Like, it would have been dumb if they're like, okay, Bruce Wayne is now black and that's what we're doing in the reboot. That would have been dumb. But then bringing back a character from, like, the 90s and having him be the new Batman, I'm cool with it. I don't care. I hope it's good. But as far as there being, I don't know about there being two Batmans at the same time. That's the thing that I'm like, I kind of hope this guy gets his own identity after this. Like, I hope he gets in a crime fight because of Batman. He does his own thing. And then he's like, okay, I don't want, Bruce is here. I don't want to be Batman. I want to be whatever his new character's name is. Because I'm not, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I think that Bruce should eventually retire and Tim Drake should take over the mantle of Batman. Yeah, that's exactly Soundwave. That's what I'm saying. 12 Years a Slave was a good movie. How it translates to comic world, yeah, I don't. That's the thing. I don't know. Like, just because you wrote a good movie doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna write. Because the flip side of that is Jeff Johns, who's like the best comic writer of all time, in my opinion. But the dude freaking sucks when it comes to translating things to movies. So when you have someone that can make something good in the movies, probably not gonna do too great when it comes to comics. Who knows? But yeah, like. That's my, like, personal thing when it comes to Batman is I think that Bruce Wayne should eventually get to the point where he retires, he goes off with Selina, does whatever, and Tim Drake becomes Batman. Because to me, Tim Drake has not had a good, like, he hasn't found his Nightwing yet. Like, Dick Grayson is Nightwing. I loved him as Batman, but he should not be, like, the permanent Batman. He's not, like, he should be, like, the filler Batman. Like, Bruce Wayne has to go do whatever, gets his back broken, whatever happens, and Dick Grayson fills in, but he is ultimately Nightwing. To where Tim Drake, he's Robin, and then he's like Red Robin. He doesn't really have his like ultimate like persona. To where I think Tim Drake would be a great Batman, because Tim Drake is arguably, well, Dick Grayson is my favorite Robin. Tim Drake is arguably the best Robin. Like, when you think about all the elements and everything that he had, he's probably the best Robin there is. He's the best detective there is. I think he fits the Batman archetype the best, and I think he would make a great Batman, and I think he should be the next Batman. I think that's the next step for Tim Drake. Not making him freaking Drake, name him after a duck like Bendis did. Make him Batman. That's my opinion. I think he should be the next Batman whenever Bruce hangs up the cowl. Like, I think that's what they should do. I think when they're getting towards a reboot, I think they should make Bruce retire, make Tim Batman, have it go on for like freaking 30 issues or however long you want to go on for, and then reboot and bring Bruce Wayne back, because Bruce Wayne is the cash cow. Like, that's the thing about it, though. Bruce Wayne's always going to be Batman because he's the cash cow. He's what people want to see. People know Bruce Wayne is Batman. They want that. So, like, and I have no problem with that. It makes sense to me. Like, you know. But I think it would be cool if we had, like, a solid, like, 30 issue, 30, 50, 100 issues, however long, of Tim Drake being Batman. I think it would be really cool. And, like, Bruce Wayne operating in the background, not being Batman, but still, like, supporting his family. But also, it'd be cool to know that, like, give Bruce a kid with Selina and have them go off and, like, have their happily ever after. Because comics are so afraid of giving Bruce Wayne a happy ending. I think it'd be cool if they gave Bruce a happy ending and let Tim be Batman. I think that'd be cool. Yeah, Tim Drake is a duck now. I think Terry should be Batman. Like, freaking leave him as Batman Beyond in the future. Like, let Tim Drake be Batman. Like, I think that'd be so cool. Like, imagine that. If they're like, Batman finally settles, like, Bruce finally settles down with Selina. They have a kid. He gets his happily ever after. Something that we never thought Bruce would get. That he's been deprived of, that writers don't want to give him, because Batman has to constantly be suffering, constantly be in pain, and blah, 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 blah. We can't have him be happy. Let him be happy and give Tim Drake Batman. That would be cool. Like, and then down the line, way later, you could have Tim Drake hand the mantle off to Terry. Why should Tim Drake be Batman? Like I was just saying, he doesn't have that next persona. Like, Jason Todd is Red Hood. Dick Grayson is Nightwing. Freaking Tim Drake's not Red Robin. Tim Drake's not Drake. He doesn't have that, like, he doesn't have who he's going to be. He doesn't have that yet. Like, there's nothing set in stone for him that he should be. Besides Batman. He fits the archetype perfectly. He's basically the perfect apprentice for Batman to fill in the shoes. He is the best detective. He is the most well-rounded out of all of the Robins. Like, when you think of what all the Robins are really good at, Tim Drake is the most well-rounded out of all of them and would fit Batman perfectly. That's what I think. That's why I think he should be Batman. Selena says, so Batman would have to come back as Batman to find a murder if ever was left the mantle. Yeah. What about Tim Drake become Batman? Like, you got that. Like, everyone knows Terry is Batman Beyond. Legit, DC never wants to be happy. Which, like, that's all we've ever seen, like, for the entirety of Batman ever, is he can't be happy. So let him be happy for once and let Tim take over as Batman. Especially because we don't want freaking Tim being a duck right now. And make Tim a man also. Like, they keep, like, going back and forth from Tim's, like, 17 to Tim's, like, 21. To, back and forth. Like, just make Tim a man and make him Batman. Yeah, Tim is, like, the greatest detective among the Bat family. Like, him and Bruce. Didn't Tim Drake become Batman Beyond before, which failed? I don't know, maybe. I haven't read, like, the Batman Beyond comics. Man, Tim Drake is Batman training Bruce to slay his daughter. That could be cool. Tim Drake is, like, as far as I know, I haven't catched up because I don't read freaking Young Justice, but I think he's still Drake, isn't he? He's still the Duck. So, I think he's the Duck right now. Oh, he's Robin. Oh, yeah, because Tynan brought him back. But yeah, like, making him Robin again, come on. Like, why you gotta do Tim like that? Make him Batman. And Future's End. Future's End was so... Ugh. Future's End. I always gotta ask when next Twitch stream. I don't know. Sometime this week I'll Twitch stream them. Maybe Christmas Eve we might do a Twitch stream. Since I'll have time. It's just, yeah, it's the end of the year, so work for me is like super busy right now. What do you think of Justice League 20 Endless Winter? Freaking Bendis writing Justice League is gonna be interesting. Become Batman, which fellows. Do you read Batman Face to Face? I don't think I've read Batman Face to Face. Any opinion on the new writer of Superman? Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. Philip Kennedy Johnson's a great writer. I love what he's been doing with The Last God, and I think he's going to do good with Superman, but I don't know. Being Robin, no more Drake. He needs to just... him being Robin's dumb too, though. Does Drake become the Punisher? Batman Futures End? I don't remember Futures End because I tried to wipe it from my memory, but we're getting Futures End 2.0 with Future State. Have you read any of the new Star Wars comics? Yeah. I'm enjoying the Darth Vader series currently. I'm really behind on the Star Wars series, so I don't have an opinion on that. And Bounty Hunters is really good. So Darth Vader and Bounty Hunters are really good. Do you believe there's some way to DH John Kent, Superboy? We talked about this earlier. Only if there's a universe-wide reboot do I think they're going to DH John Kent. I don't think they're going to do it in, like, just main... I don't think they're just going to be like, okay, we're going to have him go through a portal, and now he's 10 years old again. I think the only way they get John to be DH is if we get, like, another New 52 or Rebirth. If we get that, they could reboot, and they'll be like, here's this new Superman title, and John is now 10 years old in this new timeline. That's the only way I think it happens. Other than that, they could do it, but I don't think they will. Last issue of Young Justice... He made him Robin. Nice. Yeah, the Tim Drake Punisher one was from like a Teen Titans like storyline, I think, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I remember reading that. He had a kind of cool design. Do you think the next crisis? When do you think the next crisis event will happen? I don't know. Like freaking next week with how DC's going. The Editorial coming. Do you like pineapple pizza? I don't hate pineapple on pizza, but I never order it. The only time I had it was when I worked at Papa John's because it was free. Like because you always you just randomly get free pizzas. Like people would make them, or like someone would not come to pick up their pizza or something. So that was the only time I've ever had pineapple on pizza, and I was like, it's okay, but it's not. It's never something I'm gonna pay for ever because it's like I could order a much better pizza. But season 2 might not worth watching if I don't care about Clone Wars or stuff whatsoever. I enjoyed Mandalorian season 2. I tell you, Ian enjoyed it, and Ian hates Rebels and Clone Wars. So, but yeah, there's a lot of force feeding of like, look at the stuff from Rebels and Clone Wars. Like Filoni just like being like, take this from Rebels and take this from Clone Wars and take this. But yeah, Mando season 2 is good. I won't be talking about like spoilers here though, but I'm hoping later today me and Ian can actually record a nerd talk on it. Talk about it. But yeah, Mando season 2 I like better than season 1. There's a less filler. Ian enjoying something? No, he didn't love it. Trust me, there's a lot he hated and complained about constantly, but he did like Mando season 2. I have not read the Invincible books, but I want to pick up the omnibuses for Invincible and read them because I heard they're so good. Yes, we talked about Tom Taylor on Nightwing earlier. He enjoying something I didn't know. Not trust me, Ian complained a lot about it. Everything. It's again, we're gonna hopefully we talk about it today, but we will 100% we will talk about Mandalorian on Nerd Talk. I don't know if it'll be today or not, but we will. Red Hood should lead the Outsiders. I don't like all this ideas that Jason needs a team. Let Jason be by himself. I feel like Jason's like the most loner out of the like Bat family, but they keep sticking him with people. Like, stop having him have a team. Let Jason be by himself. Like, damn, you know. But they keep sticking him with other people. Oh yeah, Wonder Woman comes out on Christmas Day. I'm probably gonna watch that on Christmas Day. Sex I won't be able to see in theaters. But have you read Astro City? That rings a bell. What is Astro City? Why does that ring a bell? Oh, no. I have not read Astro City. I have not read Astro City. But yeah, I've heard of it. No, someone else is writing Red Hood. I don't remember who, but Scott Lobdell's off Red Hood now. I mean, like, starting in, like, March. What do you think they're going to do with Steel and Superman? I don't know. The poor dude's been wasted. Steel's one of my favorite parts of, like, the 90s when they did the whole Death of Superman. I thought Steel was a cool character, inspired by Superman. I like Steel. But they haven't really done much with him. So I have no clue what they're going to do. Hopefully they do something good with him. How do you bring back Super Sons in the main universe? Well, obviously, what I would do is I'd go back to the point in Bendis' run where, okay, so catch up time for those that didn't watch my Bendis video or have not read Bendis Superman, you lucky duck. There's a point where Jonathan Kent, Superman's son, went on a grand space adventure with his grandfather Jor-El. During that time, he went through a portal, like a black hole, that took him to, I believe it's Earth 3 is the like Injustice Syndicate or whatever, which is the one with like Ultraman, Owlman, Superwoman, you know, the evil versions of the Justice League. While there, he got tortured by like another like Ultraman, which is, you know, an alternate universe version of his father. He almost got killed by his mom and all that stuff. Then when he came back through the black hole, he was aged up like 7 years. Or like 6 years. I think he's like 11 when he went in there and he came out of 17. So he got aged up 6 years. What I would have to do is, I would say that John Kent, the real John Kent, is still 11 years old and he's still in that universe. And he's still captured by Ultraman and he's trying to make his way out. I would do a mini-series of John Kent, young 11-year-old John Kent, trying to escape Ultraman in that universe. And the John Kent we have is actually the evil version from that universe, and he freaking came to ours, and he started the United Planets and the Legion of Superheroes for his own like evil mastermind, like his own like evil plan. And so the real John Kent's still over there, and he's still 11 years old, and he's trying to get out and maybe do something where Superman discovers that, and Superman has to make a plan to go to that universe and save his actual son. That's what I do. I think that'd be really cool. I think there's a lot of opportunities there, and you can bring back real John Kent. Without having to de-age him, you just say that that's actually not John Kent that we got. That's what I'd do. I think that'd be cool. You know? I think that could be a really interesting story, and you get John Kent back, and you don't have to de-age, and you don't have to be like, none of this stuff ever happened. You don't have to completely like be like, none of this stuff ever happened. Okay, that's a little harsh. I don't like Bendis, but don't wish death on the guy. Why don't you write comics? Because I'm retarded. I'm very much an ideas guy. I think I can come up with some cool ideas, but when it comes to writing down things on on paper, I'm not so good at that. Still waiting for that EVS Plastic Man story. Oh yeah, he had some cool ideas in the composite Superman stuff. Invincible Omnibus is huge. I bet it went on for a long time. Thanks for timing it out, yeah. Is Batman book do Red Hood justice? Yeah, I just hate... So let's go to that real quick. So, Chip Zdarsky is freaking amazing right now. He's probably the best writer at Marvel currently. Let's see. He tweets a lot. Where the hell is him talking about his Bat book? He tweeted out like the art. Here it is. Good luck, Bat Spectre. Let's see, alright. I'm writing Batman miniseries starring Batman Red Hood, starring Batman Urban Legends 1, a new anthology featuring some pretty great talent and me. Eddie Barrows is drawing it, and he's amazing. That is amazing. Seriously, a great creative team. Eddie Barrows is a guy that was on the Nightwing New 52 run with Kyle Higgins. He's a great artist. I love Eddie Barrows. He doesn't get enough. He's not on enough premium books like he should be. Like, the dude's really good. But yeah, Chip Zdarsky's and him writing a Batman Red Hood comic, he's just like, sounds like a great idea. The only problem is I hate that it's stuffed in this book. Give them their own miniseries. Instead, it's stuffed in Batman Urban Legends, which is a book with a ton of other like stories in it. So that part's disappointing, but it is what it is. I'm growing up this. It's like. Okay, so that's all. There's like an actual, I thought, like article on it. That's just his newsletter where he talked about for Tuesday. Yes, here it is. I think, or maybe this is just. Oh yeah, we can go through the solicitations also. I don't think it's. Yeah, this ain't the solicitations though. But this is. Arcade by Lake Inspire is great. That's why I use it in my a lot of my videos. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like John Kent being an imposter works really well in my opinion, because that way you don't have to de-age John. You can be like, John was always 11. He's just trapped over here, and this is a fake imposter John. I think that works better than being like, this is the real John. He's gone through all experiences and now he's de-aged. Because imagine if you were 17 and then you got sent back to being 11. That'd freaking suck, and I don't want that to happen to John. So I want John to always have been 11, and just this 17-year-old John is imposter. That he needs to ditch the crowbar and grow his hair out a little more. I mean, the hair I don't mind, but yeah, I'm down for him getting rid of the crowbar. I don't think he needs to like constantly be carrying that around. Yeah, Eddie Barrows is great. We finally had that kind of to get an iBuyPower for PC for $629. It depends on the specs, Donovan. Depends on the specs. Because $629, like, that's super cheap for a PC, but it all depends on like what the specs are. How old is Damien? Damien's like 12 or 13, I think, currently. I think he's like 13. Not 100% sure on that, but I'm pretty sure he's like around 13 right now. A new ongoing anthology, Urban Legends, like all the other creative teams in this sound awful. Yeah, 64 pages, and so there's a 64 page. Let's see. So there's a 64 page book. How many different creative teams are there on there? Because we could freaking do we'd do some quick maths. All right, Barrows will lead the anthology with a 6-part Batman Red Hood story. And the course one change his life forever. See, in future state, grifter writer Master Roseburg continues to start. Okay, so 2. Gun for Hire. Cool Cash is still in Gotham. Benjamin Drew. Come on, how many creative teams do we have? Poison Ivy attack on. Yeah, you have to deal with this dude. Next battle, Laura Berg. Launch Phillips' new Harley Quinn ongoing. Running out the anthology first issue will be the first and 3-part Outsiders. So is that like 5 creative teams? Did that say 5? I don't know. So if you do 5 divided by sorry, how the heck do I clear? So if we do 64 divided by 5. That means we get like 12 pages of Red Hood assuming it's 5 creative teams. I kind of skimmed through it. So if there's 5 creative teams, that means we get 12 pages of Red Hood, of Chip Zdarsky's Red Hood. So like you're paying like however much this book's gonna be, like $5 or $6 for 12 issues essentially. Because I don't really care about any of this other stuff. Like Matthew Rosenberg could be good, who knows? But like, you know, like that's kind of dumb. Hey, what's up, Darian? A man of Bendis, Tom King team to write Superman Batman. God. 10 to 13 DC Comics can't at the moment. Okay, so I was right. I thought he was 13. I was gonna fly around the world. He had his 14th yet, nor has had John. He hasn't had. Okay. Well, in Bendis's run, like Bendis specifically mentioned John like being 11 years old. Like in Bendis's run, I remember that. So like John was 11 in Bendis' run. I remember him specifically mentioning that. But yeah, so you're getting like 12 pages for like, that's dumb. Just give them their own. Like give them their own series. Don't stuff them in here with all this other stuff. It's kind of like, hey, you only want to read this because of Chip Zdarsky and Eddie Barrows, but we're gonna throw in all these other like lackluster stuff. Core i3 processor. Well, that's the processor. Just put the specs in the Discord and I'll look at it. Anyways, what else were we gonna look at? There was something else I was gonna. Let's see. Yeah, we got Superman Red and Blue, which I was kind of disappointed by. So let's see. Here it is. Thoughts on DC going monthly, increasing prices. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but what are you gonna do? Yeah, like there was literally no like progression with John getting aged up. It was literally just, hey, John's been like, we started with John was a baby, and then he was like 5 years old during the Clark and Lois storyline that Dan Jurgens went, and then in Rebirth he's like 10 years old, and we like slowly got him up, And now and then they just throw him through a black hole and he's 17. So it's like, oh, cool. So we had like 3 years of John being like a kid. Now he's freaking 17. It's like, cool. Have you read Batman Ongoing? Yes. It's been a while though. I hope Tomasi gets more stories in Red and Blue. Sadly, he's not freaking in Red and Blue. So I saw this announcement. And I'm like, oh, sick. We got a cool Gary Frank cover. We got a new Superman story. Because there's a thing called Batman Black and White, where it's just a bunch of random creators like on a Batman book telling random stories. And we're getting that for Superman. And it's all in red and blue, just like Batman Black and White's all in black and white. And then I looked at the creative teams like, there's no one in here like exciting. Because sort of John Ridley and Steve Lieber and more. It's like, come on, where's where they announced the creative teams? Yeah, Batman Red and Blue issue 1 of 6 featuring 40-page of stories by Marguerite Bennett, don't care. Wes Craig, don't care. Freaking, someone with just one name, Danny. Brandon Easton, freaking, we all know how good Brandon Easton is. Clayton Henry, Steve Lieber, John Ridley, Jill Thompson, and Dan Waters. Why? Why are you, what? Why are these people on here? Like, why not just be like, hey, here's a new Superman Red and Blue with stories by Jeff Johns, Peter Tomasi, Marv Wolfman. Like, you know how cool that would be? Instead of, hey, here's all these people that have, like, no association with Superman whatsoever, but pay us $6 for it. I'm not gonna read this. I like this cover by Gary Frank, though. But I ain't reading this. Like, screw that. Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do with Lex. It's going to be interesting, to say the least. Let's put them in the general section. Okay, cool. I'll look at it later. Some ways. What are all the past DC writers doing after Future State? They can't be out of work now. Well, like, that's the thing. So, we know Joshua Williams is going to be heading up Infinite Frontier. I don't think they've announced what his ongoing is. So there's 3 writers in particular that I don't know what the hell they're doing right now. I mean, after a Future State. So Joshua Williams is going to be writing Infinite Frontier, but I don't know if there's any, I don't know if there's any monthly he's on. Peter Tomasi's getting kicked off of Detective Comics. I don't know what he's going to be writing. And then, what's his name? Robert Venditti, who was on Hawkman, but then Hawkman got canceled, then was on Justice League, but moved off Justice League. I don't know what he's writing. Those are 3 of the best writers at DC, and I don't know what the hell they're going to be doing. So let's see if their Twitters, if they said anything. Or is it it's Venditti, yeah. Let's see. What's he reading? Good read. He's reading Superman, but he's not writing Superman. Sad. See, what's he gonna be writing? This thing, the digital series that Robert Venditti wrote for Superman won this Superman award because Bendis is so bad. Good for Venditti. I guess there's nothing. So he's writing like a creator-owned book, but nothing announced for what he's gonna be writing at DC. His Hawkman run's really good because he's not on Justice League anymore. Today, moderate Hawk Woman's appearance in the series. But is he writing a Hawk Woman series? No. I don't think anything's been announced for what he's writing. Because Hawkman, yeah, I don't think there's anything he's writing. Let's see. I don't think there's been anything announced what Peter Tomasi's writing. Does Future State even matter in the long run? Not really. I think Future State's just going to be like a plethora of ideas that they're going to borrow from for the actual monthly comics. I hope Shadow of the Super Sun's good. Sucks that it's digital only, but I'm excited to read it. At least it's only $1. No, I haven't watched The Boys. Venditti might be getting JSA for April. I could see that. DC Comics sure wants to fail upwards. It seems that way. So basically, Future State means nothing. Pretty much. That's what it seems like. At least that's how I feel right now. But yeah, Tomasi. Like, I think they announced what he's writing for DC. Yeah. Like, that, like, Venditti and Tomasi, two of the best guys at DC. We don't know what they're writing. And then Joshua Williamson. He's heading up Infinite Frontier. I don't know if his monthly's been out. Someone said him writing Damien. Yeah, Daniel Strix out his own solo backup stories in March. There's a two-part in the back of Batman too. That sets up big thing for Daniel. Okay, so he's writing this backup story for Damien. But other than that, what's he going to be writing? I wish they would have given him Justice League instead of Bendis. Bendis has Justice League. Yeah, he's writing Damien. That's weird. It's just a weird thing to me. Why is he going to all the deer from Marvel? What is writing Superman Shots again? Yeah, Dan Jurgens got like his own like storyline that's gonna be going, so like his own like future thing. So yeah. What is it? He's writing, I can't remember the name of it. Some like big thing. Yeah, Generations. So we'll see how that goes. I'm not really excited for that. There aren't. Oh yeah, like that's why you gotta watch Mandalorian instantly, because freaking people just spoil stuff for it. Have you read any of his other books? Superman Deceased was good. That's for the Killing. I have no idea. Oh yeah, his freaking in Deceased he did a great job with Superman, but in Injustice not so much. The last stories of DC Universe with Death Metal tie-in was actually pretty good. I got like one of the tie-ins, but I haven't even read it because I just hate like currently what's going on with Death Metal. But who knows? Is there anything else to cover with this? I don't think there's really anything else. They're probably preparing future stories for different characters, or already working on it. Look down the road. They're definitely working on something. Obviously, they're not just having them sit there, because they're two of the most talented writers at DC. And all these other random people that haven't proven themselves at all are getting big books at DC. So Tomasi and Venditti, who are two proven writers, better be getting something good, because, like, what? John Ridley's getting Batman? This dude who wrote freaking just random Young Justice episodes is like getting Teen Titans. It's like Tomasi and Venditti are getting whatever. Death Metal's hella confusing, yeah. Nice. But yeah, I think that's about it. Talk about DC Comics today. As far as future streams, I'll probably do like sometime next week. I might do another comic book organizing stream, because I need to like organize my long box and short box again. I did that earlier this year and that was fun, so I think I might do that again. That could be cool. Twitch streams, I don't know. I honestly don't know what I'm gonna be streaming. I'll find something to stream. The thing that sucks is like I want to stream Cyberpunk, but I can't because I don't have a dual stream setup, dual stream PC, so it runs like crap when I try to stream it. When I don't stream it, Cyberpunk runs great, but my PC's not powered enough to stream and play a game that demanding at the same time. So I'll find something to stream on Twitch. We'll see, but. Well, I think this has been his kind of last shot as far as like big things with DC, because he's failed with everything else. So I don't think they're gonna give him a whole lot else with Justice League. I think they're like, this is your last shot on a big book. After that, we're cutting you off. But yeah, I think that's about it. Hope you guys. Yeah, Mitch's grandma still hasn't got me a stream PC. But I think that's about it. I hope you guys have a good Sunday and a good week, considering it's Christmas week we're getting into. Hope you guys have a good Christmas. I got all my Christmas shopping done last week. All that stuff should be arriving soon, so I'm excited. It's Christmas week. 4-day work week. Christmas is on a Friday. So I get to just give for a nice 3-day weekend. Excited about that. Don't have to like go to work. You don't have to like take off Christmas and then the next day go back to work. So that's nice. Yeah, this was fun. It's fun talking about like the random stuff that's going on in comics. I really have a lot of fun with it. It reminds me of like basically the conversations I have when I go to my comic shop to like pick up my comics. You know, I just go like talk about the random stuff that's going on. So it's cool. I like these streams. They're fun. And there's like different stuff to talk about. But anyways, I'm gonna head out now. Again, hope everyone has a good weekend and a good Christmas week. And Merry Christmas to everyone. And I'll see you guys later. Peace out, everyone.